Hello guys. I just want to talk to you again about my newest single, Resist.
I'm not inspired, I'm incensed by the nonsense. Things will get worse before they improve, I'm convinced. Amalgam of illness, contents of abscess.
I do want to preface this answer by saying I do see the need for nuance. I absolutely see the need for maintaining perspective. I see the need for being able to legitimately criticize just about any leadership, just about any form of governance or anything like that, regardless of party or, affiliation, and regardless of how great you might personally think there are. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody does things, that maybe aren't so great for everybody rather than just themselves. So what I'll say is that I'm aware right now that we're not really dealing with that. We're not really dealing with somebody who's just making a few mistakes here and there and maybe having some slip-ups and faux pas. What we're dealing with is essentially an administration that, doesn't care, obviously. And I think a lot of people know that. So that was really what inspired me to write the song, is that fact that I see this as an existential threat, not just to, the country and the empire, but to people living here and families and just so many people. And that's really what I wanted to convey with my song, is a sense of fear, a sense of anger, and a desire to really resist what's happening right now.
Tribalize and shun the main issue at hand. I'm dukes up, I'm shook, I'm dipping on the edge, don't give me a second look.
My intent with Resist was originally just to sort of blow off steam and express the frustration that I was feeling during the time during the election and beforehand and everything that had led up to that. And in the process of unpacking all of my anger, I realized how much fear was sort of behind it and how much fear people are experiencing. And if I have to say, my fear is largely for people who I think are going to be bearing the brunt of the consequences for the actions of such a reckless administration. And I think in a lot of ways those people who will be bearing most of the brunt are people who have been bearing the brunt of a lot of things for a long time. And so that's really what I wanted to speak about. I really wanted to sort of, just express the fears I was feeling that I knew, some other people must be feeling too.
Those who follow scripture then silence them, abuse kids. Cause so many blindly laud the powerful. I won't concede, I supersede, my voice will always say no.
As far as what inspired the sound of Resist, I think it's, obviously very much hip-hop inspired. That was what I wanted to go with, because I feel like hip-hop is resistance music in a lot of ways. And it's obviously inspired as well by the art of spoken word. As later on in the song, I do stop and just sort of speak my mind. So yeah, as far as the song, it's very hip-hop inspired, if not hip-hop in itself. And the track was produced by Recognize, who is awesome at being able to just take loads of different sounds and being able to fuse them in a way that comes across as being just appropriate for whatever mood you could think of.
As we cycle through all your bullshit at a high capacity, you've been sent here to mislead, that much is apparent to me.
I'm not inspired, I'm incensed by the nonsense. Things will get worse before they improve, I'm convinced. Amalgam of illness, contents of abscess. Holding high position, who's responsible for this? Now, as far as those lyrics, amalgam of illness and contents of abscess is sort of my way of sort of implying that this administration in itself is not the sickness alone. It's not the problem on its own. And it's more like the consequences of so many things that so many Americans have allowed for themselves and allowed for other Americans. And things that we just have not attempted to keep in check nearly enough. Catch you filthy-handed, hide behind ubiquity, like Patrick Bateman, like Bundy almost did. Those who follow scripture then silence them abused kids. Now, as far as those lyrics, I am making a couple of pop culture references, I guess, to men who fit a sort of stereotype, I guess. And these are men we tend to think of as being powerful men, or men that, you know, can be trusted to be competent and make powerful decisions for other people. And as far as Patrick Bateman, is obviously a movie character who's one of these wealthy men from the elite with some measure of power, perhaps, but he turns out to, you know, of course, be a serial killer. Is sort of kept from any sort of consequence for those things, because he is able to sort of blend in so well, be seen as somebody who is at the end of the day is entrusted to uphold the interests of a lot of different people. Relegated your blood and tears to currency. All of our profits are paying for someone else. Stay facilitating the constant ache of those near and far. Now, as far as those lyrics go, that's more referring to sort of the long-term consequences of what the U.S. has instigated worldwide, and how we are, you know, overlooking things that we've taken such a big part in, and, you know, we still want to play the blame game, we still want to point the fingers, but we don't want to look a little further in ourselves and see the things that we've allowed, not only for ourselves, but for the rest of the world.
So how can it take you seriously? Once it contains swamp flowing in the streets, in part due to rhetoric of those who wish to normalize increased suspicion of those who may not share the dominant religion, national, or race. A blatant jeer in the faces of those who've attempted to create a more perfect union between justice and the human condition, and a land built on inhumanity that's relegated your blood and tears to currency. All of our profits are paying for someone else. Stay facilitating the constant ache of those near and far, with chronic underestimation of the effort it takes to move a mass of people and attempt to maintain consistency and humanity. On our best day we fail, but now we throw up our arms and concede to the greed of a hostile beast. Power over you is not for me, it'll never be. Let freedom ring from the soloist to the symphony.
As far as the song, I just want to say thank you to everybody, thank you to listeners, thank you to my subscribers, thank you to people who have shared and people who have supported me. I'm just so happy that I have gotten the constructive feedback that I have gotten so far. And I mean, I was nervous about this song, but excited at the same time. And so I'm just so honored to have people actually respond positively to it in a lot of ways. And thank you so much for that. I want to let you know that Resist is available on CDbaby. It's available on iTunes and all of these other outlets. It's available to be streamed on Spotify and Apple Music and all of these other places. If you don't have any of those services, it is available on Bandcamp for no particular price. And as well as that, it is available here on YouTube, as always. And I want to let my subscribers know I am coming back. You know, I have been away for quite a while, but I'm definitely coming back. You should see an update video pretty darn soon. And thank you guys so much. I can't thank you enough. So if you feel the way I feel, if you see things the way I see, then please continue to resist.
It's taking everything just to keep this fucking temper down and